I have bushed around the beat too long. I wanted to show you this camping stove from Hot Devil, which comes with the fuel, which is a pretty tight little container. And what I want to do is see if it really is worthwhile when it comes to, like, oh, I want to make something warm. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I don't have a problem with some hot chocolate. So here's all the pieces. This obviously screws on here. And since I don't read instructions, I just pull that off. I screw this on here. It has a striker, which is kind of impressive for such a little tiny tight thing. It has feet. Unsure where they go. Right here, right here. Still don't know. So I guess you'll go ahead and open it up all the way like you're supposed to. Then sit it down. Then sit that on there. That's a little sketch. So it may not go there. Then this. Oh, there's a little thing. Sits on here. It goes there. Warnings. Read instructions before use. Ain't nobody gonna do that. So we get a little test run. Obviously, almost obviously, you fold this out so you can get the finger on it. Give it a little sound. Oh yeah, I love indoor propane. We have fire. We turn it off. Now we are officially camping. The lid is nice and rubber. I put some water in it. I like the lid. So it's on. I would say you put your lid and everything on there first, and then put all your crap in there that you're gonna have to need to sustain yourself while you're living off grid, but waiting on products from overseas to sustain you. Turn your gas on. Click it. Alright. I want to see if it really makes water hot. Oh yeah, I figured out how to hook these on there. They pretty much snap in. We don't need that much fire. Now we can catch up joker on fire if we want to. Yeah, that's what we may do in the next video, is see if a whole can of that heat will melt this whole thing. That'd be a good video. So I'm gonna time it, because when you want coffee, you want coffee. I know it's already started. We're gonna do a stopwatch and go ahead and start it. This way you know I'm not cheating. We'll put it right there. We're gonna peek. It's not boiling yet. So instead of sitting and you waiting for water to boil, we're going 47 seconds. Do we have any bubbles? Oh, we got steamation. Look, we got steamation. 56 seconds. Okay, we're at 1 minute. That's a hot little lap right there, man. It's a far cry. I don't know what that means. It's a far cry from the days when all these were green. Remember when they were just only green and that's all you could get? It's a far cry. We're at 1 minute, 20 seconds. We're gonna check it, okay? Oh, that's not a good idea. Okay, so at 1 minute, 30 seconds, you have hot steamation. I will put the link to this little beauty on the video description. I forgot to tell you, you can cook soup in this. You can scramble eggs probably. You could cook a steak. You could probably get a Christmas turkey in there if you're really creative. Okay,
Hey,
so,
look.
so Bride's in the water with me. She can raise her arm after all her stuff. Look,
What?
some locals came through and threw every bit of their garbage out down here. I'll get all that when we leave. Why would somebody do that unless they're just absolute, you know what? Which they probably are. That's a bone? That's a bone. That's a chicken bone.
That is a bone.
That's a big old bone. Throw it over here. Let me see that thing right there now. I don't recognize that bone. So now that we get it out of the water, I think it is a femur, but a short little stumpy one. That would go into the hip socket, and the patella would rotate on that, I think. Or it could be just something you put in a soup. I went to the gym this morning and busted a move, and that's about the gist of it. Here you go, let me give you the boost. I only have one grabber because I've broken every one I own.
This is creepy.
That's not so bad, come on. There is a hole right here, so be ever so careful. One good thing about being in a place with no sunlight, there's no moss on the rocks, so they're not slick. So you can simply walk on out. This must be the common spot to throw out garbage. So we'll do some garbage collection too. Since she's gone through the frozen shoulder thing when she hurt her arm and had to go through all the therapy, she's a little nerve in the creeks, worried about falling. I used to not be that way. Just jump in with me. Gotta get back on it though. Well, to verify that was a femur, I sent the picture to the tree surgeon. He said a femur from a large animal or a small child. So I left it where it is, and we're hoping, I'm pretty sure it's an animal, but it is a large animal. But I don't know. So we're heading on downstream. A lot of spider webs. You okay? Let's keep traveling. It's been a few years since we've been here. There's usually no trash in this creek, no anything in this creek except rocks, some pretty cool salamanders, an occasional hunk of metal, and crawfish. But this time, there's a lot of trash because some things I'm not going to say. That is a modern Ribaldel. There's another bone, huh?
Have you ever been back to that spot ever since you went the first time?
Yes. So we're gonna take this bone back with us. That's it.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that's the, yeah, that one's been eaten up. So there's the other leg. So we'll take that back. Check it out. And here's where the two creeks meet. It'd be a good little switching spot, but there's nothing in here except natural stuff, which is amazing. Oh, and bones. Oh, and cups. Stuff like that. Look how beautiful it is. Isn't it amazing? And we're on the flats. Sometimes you just need a creek with minimal trash. There should be no trash in this creek. Not a drop. Absolutely zero. Which maybe that's the case from here on out. It's a really clean creek because you can see all the fresh water snails in here. They're so cool, aren't they? And you put it back and it'll glue itself right back to the rock. Those are the little filters. She found a Skittle. This is, a lot of people don't know it.
Look at that little one.
But Skittles come from here. Can they not? But it's pretty cool. And we're near the muscadines too. It's too early for them, but it doesn't keep anything from knocking them out of the trees. This would be a neat place to just sit if the mosquitoes weren't so bad. Just hang out, have a sandwich. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Something like a piece of slate, but it's cool. And it's gonna glide on the water. You ready? Let's go. There's not a lot of room to make it glide, but we'll give it an attempt. 6 glides, that counts. There's a secret place on this waterway that has cypress trees. And it may not be this creek, but it has full grown cypress trees and it's full of cypress knees. I've shown you before. Seems like yesterday. You okay? We brought the kids here when they were all little bitty and we waded upstream from a different spot. And it was amazing. It does not seem like yesterday. Bridge number 2 coming up. It has been so hot lately. It's ridiculous, but it's supposed to start raining again this week.
What?
That's an antique.
Motorola.
I wonder how they use these back then. That's crazy. I've never, ever seen a snake in this creek, darling. She may be glad. She's not afraid of snakes though. She don't pick them up, but thought it was a knife. It's not. So no animals, but the snails and the minnows.
Oh, that breeze is nice.
It is. Summer breeze. Make me flippin'. There are a lot of spider webs and a lot of spiders. Alright, we left there. Now I'm in a mad rush to get to this other creek before it storms. I thought I wasn't going to beat the rain, but it turns out it was just a bunch of bugs. So it's all good. When the rain started turning red on the windshield, as the dawn and the dew fell from the sky. Because that's all you get for poetry. Down here on the right is a place called Puff Daddy's or P. Diddy's, or I forget what it's called. And I forgot where it is. They got a burger that I'll get on the way back. Hang on, let's get there. I'm not going to stop there now. I'm not going to stop there on the way back if it's raining. Hang on. There it is. Right there. Oh, Big Daddy's. Who's your daddy? I found it. I just got to get turned around and get to it. Here it is. I've always called it Butterfly Creek because last time we came there were so many butterflies down here eating so many piles of duck and geese ice cream that it was pretty impressive. So I'm gonna try to slip down here slowly first and see if there's any fish that I might could catch. Then if there's not, I will just jump off in there. I don't see any fish right off the bat. I got to wondering, I listened to my last kayaking video that it may already be out or it may not be out, I don't know. And it seemed to me that I was talking so loud that I found myself really annoying. And I don't want to sound like that. Maybe it's just when you listen to yourself on video, it's just disturbing. And that's what I found. So would y'all be honest and ask me and tell me if I talk too much, talk too loud, obnoxious, anything, so that I will know the next time. It's pretty down here. The graffiti is nice and pretty. The trash on the ground's really nice, and that's pretty cool. The only fish I see down here are minnows. And you can tell people come and kids come and people come and they pile up little rocks, and that's cool. So this may be a potentially decent spot to detect, I don't know, because 100 years ago, my guess is if the road was here, it was a wagon road and it came down off the hill and it went back up. So we're gonna head down stream first. This place is not named Butterfly Creek, but that is the name I gave it, obviously. Geronimo's in town, and my bride broke free from this adventure to go and take her to the vet to get some lab work done to see how she's doing. I'm getting bit all over my head with bugs. This is U.S. Forest District land, for those interested. And sure, it's going to run through private property eventually. But if I was a bear, this is probably not where I would come and play, because there's probably nothing to eat in here. But it's probably a good drinking hole. Maybe I tend to talk too much or too loud or too fast when I get nervous or anxious or insecure. A lot of those words that fit me well. But anyway, let's cruise upstream. Right here you can see Kirk and Knack. They love each other. A lot of people can't spell their whole name still in Alabama, so instead of doing the whole thing, they say make your mark. I say, well, they call me Kirk. And she says, they call me Knack. I wonder if they're still together. It's been a couple of years. I mean, when you make that kind of a declaration in here, it's gonna last forever. Like Candace with a S. Oh, that's a whole name. Crook Heart Cindy the Second. Crook has my heart forever. Eric loves Kim. Wait a minute, didn't Eric look somebody else over here? Let me see. It is a loving community, as you can see. People are in love. until after the first mud bog and somebody has a few too many. Like over there, Ricky loves Randy forever. Whatever floats your boat. Casey the turtle. Your hair looks nice. There's a lot going on here. Everybody's just in love. And I'm on the wrong side of the creek and I'm gonna slip off this rock. So we'll go this way. I'm taking the long route back. Josh and Jamie, forever love in 2019. Ozzy, forever. Ozzy forever. Jay loves Ryan. Let's see who else is in love. Let's get on this side. Then we gotta make our, you have to read what people write. I mean, if you read books and stuff like that, why wouldn't you read, you know, billboards like this? You read what you see. Let's see who loves who. Don't Wiggy or me. Don't Wiggy or me. Don't Wiggy or me. Questlove ever. Don't go. Nikki Candace Costello has too much money to spend on paint. She signed every side of this thing. It's beautiful. And there it is, waiting for me to walk away so it can come back down here and hang around this little butterfly. There's usually hundreds. Gosh, I thought that was a snake. Petrified. Probably not. I don't even know why I wasn't paying attention. The old road was low and it came down here. But before that, it was dirt. But that'd be a good little swimming hole if you lived down here. It is a clean creek. It flows out of the National Forest to here. Well, you know, this would be a good little creek to kayak. If you want a slow float or a flow snoat. I heard a kingfisher, then I saw it. Here it comes through here, see it? That is a kingfisher. I love them. The cool thing about them, they live in the dirt. They burrow in the sides of hills. And they all make that distinct sound. And then they, I guess, jump in the water and grab a fish. I guess that's what they eat. They're always around creeks. I'm gonna attempt to make it over there. There's a little red-eye bass. Mosquito on my neck. We don't have water cold enough, I think, to sustain a population of trout. But I also don't know if that's true or not. I want to cross here. I guess I just have to get the old feet wet. Just a little bit. If I could go back and change a few things in my life, I think the number one thing right now would be I would put a hat on. It was getting cloudy on the way here and it was gonna rain, and then it stopped. And now my head's on fire. Hey little girl, is your daddy home? And the mosquitoes are loving it. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. Right here. I'm not gonna go too far. Well, I always say that, and then I go far. Well, that's not really cool. Yeah, you tricked me, little frog. A little frog jumped in here and stopped, and I thought that was it. That's a rock. There's potential in this area to see one moisture moccasin and a copperhead when it's flowing this gently this far out. Yeah, we're not going to go much farther. There's a lot of bugs in these trees once you get into the shade. The gnats are vish, and I know it's going to be nice no matter how far I go, but I'm going back. That got kind of deep. Yeah, this could all be kayaks. I mean, you might have to do a little pulling here and there, but I don't know what happens up here at the turn, so which is where I want to go. That bigger fish, I don't know, you probably didn't see it, that just went by as a white fish. And they usually come to even smaller streams than this, or creeks, and drop off a bunch of kids. And then they just leave them to fend for themselves. It's kind of mean, but it's just the way it is. I just realized, if you can see it, these are tracks, like side-by-side tracks that drove up through here. I guess if you have one of those really tall, good ones, you could do it. And you can dance for inspiration. Recently, everybody's been putting online all the alligators they see in North Alabama. I consider myself near North Alabama, but this is not North Alabama compared to like Huntsville or anywhere like that. And they have been seeing alligators in Huntsville, Alabama. Now you believe me when I say there's alligators around here. This is an oyster mushroom. Past is prime. I want to see if they float. They do float. See, it could soften up and go down there and spore something else. Go. Be merry and spore. Dude, they don't spore from themselves. They spore from all their little micro arms that go into line. Didn't you ever watch a documentary? Yes, I did. It was quite interesting. Thank you for the comment. Nothing in here really, unless we find one snake scurrying across in a minute or falling from the tree branch. What does concern me about being out in an open place like this, and this is pretty doggone far from any town, is the BWCs that have been all over the internet. And I did bring a signal alarm noisemaker just in case I run across a BWC, but I'd much rather not run across a BWC, but just simply one B. It just occurred to me that all you millions of new viewers who are watching me right now don't know what a BWC is. A BWC is a bear with cubs. A B is simply a bear. We generally don't use acronyms when it's one word. Look at the stinking tracks up through there. We're not going to discuss the legality. Look at that sucker. Looks like a little tiger. I forget what they're called. A little tiger sucker. You may not be able to see it. You probably can't see it. It is about 93 and the sun's right over my head. And remember, I have no helmet to protect the melon. Okay, time for a serious question. And if you have experience with someone who's an addict, then I'm open for suggestions. There is a lady that I see often. She's young. She's like 30 to 33. And she's getting skinnier and skinnier and frail. And she doesn't live anywhere, but she goes to 2 different places that I'm aware of. And the men let her stay there, and they of course take advantage of her. Of course, everybody I've talked to about her says she doesn't want help. Of course, nobody wants help until they get to the point where they reach out for it. But I do know when I found this dude laying in the middle of the road last year, maybe, he had turned 18, so he had to go into adult protective services. Well, I saw her sitting on the side of the road the other day, and it was about 1,000,000 degrees, and she was bright red, had her back to traffic, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, number one, because she's created in the image of God, and someone who knows more than me needs to reach out. I've talked to her before, but I can't just go and, you know, get her to get in my wagon. I just can't do that. I don't know why, you know. I guess I could. That's not the point. The point is, instead of, who do you contact? I mean, do you contact the local DHR? You call the police, and all the police around there know her. They're like, oh yeah, you get calls on her all the time. Well, she's gonna be dead before too long. It's just a matter of time. Now, there was a time 100 years ago when there were, we know what they called insane asylums and places like that, that you could, all it took was a few people to have someone committed, and they would wean them off whatever they could be weaned off of, or they would be full-time committed if they had a mental disorder. Back then no one knew much about, but at least they weren't sleeping in an alley, getting taken advantage of, and dying without anybody around. I don't even know how to put it in words without offending somebody. Somebody's going to be offended by the way I put this, and that's okay. I want to help this young lady, but I'm at a kind of a dead end. I don't know if I could call. I could try the adult protective services, but in a small town, you know, when they get full, they get full, I guess. I have not been, you know, of course she's kicked all her family away, and they've kicked all of her away, and everybody's tired of it, but I just can't. I pass her way too much on the side of the road to just drive by one day and stop and there's no pulse. So if you're thinking, well, dude, take her in and care for her and show her love, then how about you send me your information if you have the means to do that, if you're a lady, and I'll take you right to her. There's an unopened cold beer. I might stick it in a root and wedge it so the next person can enjoy it. That's about all I know about that story, other than I have stopped to help her once or twice and asked her if I could call somebody to come pick her up, and I let her use my phone, and she called somebody, and some dude rolled up, and it wasn't a good scene. I just didn't know what to do. I don't own her, I don't know her, I don't have any authority over anyone except my family. When I say authority, I mean the God-given role to care and take care of my family, my bride, and my offspring. Anyway, it's enough rambling about depressing things like that. I just don't know what to do. So, let's go up here. Oh, look! There's falls on both sides. This is behind us. We have came a long way. If you ever decide to do this as a source of entertainment, I recommend you go to Walmart and get some Yum glasses in the fishing section. They started off about $3 and something a pair, and then maybe $4 and something a pair. They are cheap. I'm not putting a link because they weren't sent to me. They are cheap and flimsy, but they last forever until you lose them. At which point you say, huh, not a big deal, they're only $4. I'll go get 3 more pair and put them up, because you can absolutely see in the bottom clearly. I know that put a glare on there for y'all, but just pretend like you can see. For my eyeballs, I can see this is getting deep. So we're gonna go over here and here and go this way. That was deeper than my unmentionables, so I'm gonna climb up out of here. Look at this. Huh, I told you that they're here. I'm gonna put you on my stick and see if I can get you closer so you can enjoy the buttered flies. And there they are. This is a beautiful spot. There is a creek up there, and there is a creek over there. Okay, one more thought. When I see a young guy that's an addict, I'll confess really quickly, I'm not so brokenhearted. I actually kind of get mad. I think, what the heck, man? Why didn't somebody? But then again, I'm not that somebody. But I think there's no excuse for this. And when I see a lady, it breaks my heart. I guess I think about my boys. And I know what you're thinking. Dude, if you've ever had a son become an addict, then you would understand why it's not as easy as you say it is. Yeah, I get it. I'm not being judgmental, I'm telling you my thoughts. If you want to tell me yours, then I won't judge you either. But when I see a girl or a mom come into the homeless shelter where we do the feeding thing, a mom with children, it breaks my heart, because I think about my daughters, how I want them to, you know, when I'm dead and long gone, I don't want them in that situation. My sons, on the other hand, and most men, if they can get clean, they just have a greater chance of being hired or busting their tails through life and getting their crap back together than a young lady does. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I know a woman can do what a man can do, but women also get taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? If you're like a human being who has children. Okay, let's go look over here, and if you'll stop bringing up depressing stuff, so will I. Check out this one. The other one got a little rocky top. Look at this. Are you looking? I gotta bring my bride back here. Butterfly Creek. He's swinging out a lot of butterflies. And then it turns into woods. So now that I've walked it as far as I could have went with a kayak, I know there is no need to drag a kayak down there and put it in. Hey, it's beautiful. I'm gonna try to figure out the name of this creek, and I will tell you where it is. I'm absolutely covered up in mosquitoes and everything else. And I think I need to turn around. I've been down here a long time. I don't have the camera on the entire time due to all the staff that's going around, because when that happens, I don't always record it. Again, for those of you who are new, staph is slips, trips, and falls. From a staph, you can get an infection if you cut yourself and don't get it clean. Hence, staph infections. You had a slip, trip, and fall infection. That proves I used to work in the medical field, not the medical. Slips, trips, and falls. That is a staph. I used to think a staph infection, hey, get out of here, was when everybody at work caught the same thing. And that's probably really what it means. Okay, we're back out. My goodness, I'm burning up. It is not old because it is plastic, which is a bummer. And now the final goal is to walk all the way out of here without falling down. Oops, that's almost did it. It's crazy how heavy these boots get when they fill up with water. And then it gets really shallow. I know. Okay. 30 minutes later, I'm almost back. There are people down here now. So I guess we get to meet some people. Good news, they're swimming. I thought there might be somebody hovering around the wagon, but no. They have a dog. I like dogs. I just hope it's a friendly dog. Hey y'all, did your dog bite? No. Okay, all right, good. Are you sure?
He's blind, half blind.
Half blind. Come here. Let's go. Nice people, nice dog. So that's what I call a wrap. Not really, a wrap sounds good right now though. Thanks for watching my videos.